Hello, Sag. Welcome to your in-depth reading for yours and theirs. Let's get cracking because we got a lot to do. Baseline, clarifiers, oracles, charms, the whole thing. What's going on, please? Show me Sag in their person. Show me Sag in their person. Show me Sag in their person. Like always, your person doesn't have to be a significant other, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, or lover type thing. I could be describing a dynamic that you have between, say, a family member or a friend. Okay, there you go. So take what resonates, leave what does not, reverse energies as it applies. Just because it says Sag in the title doesn't mean it's for you. It's a collective reading. It's not a one-to-one, it's not a personal. So if you don't find yourself in it at all, again, perfectly normal. Check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Show me Sag, please. Show me Sagittarius in their person. Show me Sagittarius in their person. Show me Sag. Show me Sagittarius, please. Show me Sag. Alright, we're going to start with your side, but as I just explained, reverse those energies as you need to. Alright, Four of Wands, relationship energy, Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands. How interesting. You know, I need to clarify that Four of Wands because I want to see what it means to you. Because you're showing me relationship energy, but that you're also good. Nine of Pentacles. Like, I'm independent, I'm on my own, which is very you. This is very normal Sagittarian energy. Page of Wands, just saying I'm open. It's interesting. Let's see who's next to you. We got the Hierophant, the Three of Swords, the Chariot. Well, they're showing me a certain level of commitment, spiritual or otherwise, but they're showing up and they're saying, I am showing up. I'm committed to this. I have some pain in my heart, however. Chariot, I'm still willing to move forward. Okay? Two of Wands, Five of Cups, the Seven of Wands. We got some defensiveness here. The Moon in your general overview. Not all yet known to you, or there's still stuff knocking around your moon, such as secrets or things we are not come to terms with yet. Okay, what is going on? The forefront of your energy suggests simplicity. This suggests complexity. Let's see where you are. Let's see that moon, please. Show me that moon, please, for Sagittarius. Show me that moon, please. Show me the moon, please, for Sagittarius. Show me, Sag. Come on, guys. I'll get to you. Calm down. Let's see that moon, please. The Six of Cups, the Four of Wands, Six of Wands. Interesting. Somewhere within your moon, your soul registers a relationship with somebody. Soul bond, soulmate type thing. And it makes you feel really good. But it's like low-key, the moon. Okay? It's like you take this connection to a secret place. You have a lot of feeling for it. And that feeling is actually beautiful. It is. It's lovely, it's light. Saying this person means a great deal to me. I care about them. I do more than care about them, actually. In your own way, you felt, and maybe still feel, that you are connected to them. And that you have some sort of emotional relationship with this person. But it's under the moon. Okay? Otherwise, it makes you feel really good. How interesting. Let's see that Four of Wands now. Show me that Four of Wands, please. Show me that Four of Wands, show me that Four of Wands, show me that Four of Wands. Three of Cups, Six of Swords, Page of Swords, I see. Okay, so in your spiritual realm, this person is emotionally connected to you. Okay, in terms of they're emotionally a connection that I had a relationship with. I love them, made me feel good. Okay, but it's under the moon now. It's like you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to feel about it. Okay, because you can remember how good it did feel when it was active. You're saying it's no longer active, that you had to leave it behind, that you had to stop connecting with it. You don't quite seem to know how far your relationship with it in the 3D, spiritually, you're saying you know what it meant to you. And that it's just easier for you to kind of put it away under the moon. Because it actually felt like a relationship that was yours. By kind of emotional definition, if you will. Emotionally defining this relationship, I felt connected to it, and I feel that they did too. And you're probably right. It was a soul bond / soulmate type thing. Yeah, they're emotionally connected to it too. It's just, did they acknowledge the relationship? I don't know. But at some point, you're saying there was too little insight, okay, of whatever this relationship is you had. So while it might be precious to you, that doesn't mean that it was being met well in the 3D, okay? In your spiritual emotional world, like I said, you were connected to this and you knew that you were connected to it. But in the 3D, it wasn't shaken out that way. Okay. 6 of Swords and the 3 Cups. I have to leave this behind. Page of Swords. There's too little insight about what the heck this is. I know I'm connecting to it. I like to connect to it. But I don't see how this is actually shaping up. How I feel about it and what it's looking like are 2 different things. So I had to stop connecting with it. This relationship is too small, or it's too emotionally stunting. But there's what I had felt it was, or what I had hoped it would be. Okay, do you see the difference? 4 of Wands in reality, 4 of Wands what you felt it was supposed to be, or maybe it could be. And it's like I have to put that feeling aside. I have to put that dream aside, if you will. Okay. Let's see that 9 of Pentacles, please. So, that's why. That makes sense. It makes sense, honey. I'm not saying it don't. It makes sense. Show me that 9 of Pentacles, please. Let's see you. Show me that 9 of Pentacles, please. Let's see that 9 of Pentacles, please. Eight of Wands. The Hierophant. The High Priestess, that's a lot of spiritual connectivity within you, honey. You're a highly spiritual creature. So these 2 are each other's divine counterparts. Everybody has a counterpart in tarot, even that guy. Although you wouldn't think it, you would think these 2 are mutually exclusive. Ideally, that's what the counterpart is that we learn to work with them, not against them. Otherwise, yeah, you can always see one or the other, right? But these 2 are spiritually guided, so I often call the Hierophant, maybe this isn't being nice, but it's true. It's his role. He's an enforcer. Specifically, he's a spiritual enforcer. So he's that person who will gently say, no, this is how it has to be. The Emperor tends to be a lot firmer by comparison. So the Hierophant is like, no, this is how it must be. This is deigned by law, spiritual law, the agenda. But he's an enforcer on the spiritual realm of things. Deeply connected, right? He chose that particular role. Then there's the High Priestess. This is not a role that's being chosen. This is the internal guidance system, as I call it, the GPS. The intuition is like GPS. It guides us. It's not always clear, but sometimes we find ourselves taking a left when we usually take a right. Sometimes we find ourselves saying no when we usually say yes, and the other way around. This one's less defined. Okay? It's not a rule book. It's a guidance system. So these 2 ideally should work with each other. They shouldn't be mutually exclusive, but most people tend to default to at least one. And there's that same Hierophant over here. Intuitively, somebody somewhere feels like communication's just a matter of time. And maybe this is correct. Maybe this feeling is correct. I honestly can't tell because I got 2 figures who are more or less feeling the same thing. That perhaps communication is a matter of time. This connection is deeply spiritual, even if it didn't thrive in the real world or it didn't have a chance to take off beyond it. See what I'm saying? 3 Cups and the 4 of Wands is shaky. That's a really shaky relationship. And by that I mean it's not well-founded. It's too fuzzy. There's not enough definition surrounding it. That's what I'm saying. Page of Swords, lack of insight about what the heck we were connecting over. What is our relationship exactly? I know where you wanted it to be, because you generally felt that's where it was supposed to be. Okay, like this, it's like I have to put that under the moon now. This is what I felt perhaps it would be. Maybe I intuitively felt that this is what it was, but in reality it wasn't measuring up to that at all. And so while you're on your own, you're doing your 9 of Pentacles things, which is lovely. Okay, independent, very much you. Garden of your own making, successful, thriving, comfortable. It feels like it's a matter of time before the lines of communication open up from somebody somewhere. I could say it's them. I just know that you, I believe, feel it, even if you don't understand the definition of it, when that kind of thing. But it does feel, and I'm actually inclined to agree with you, it does feel like a matter of time, doesn't it? What that communication will look like, I could not say. Let's see that Page of Wands, please. And I see you kind of greeting it with some sort of response of, okay. That's that openness of hi. Well, like I said in Pisces video not too long ago, it's like hi. That's what the Page of Wands is. He's the bravest of all the pages. He's fire. That's a little bit of nerve. It's a little bit of something. You know, he's probably the sweetest of the pages for that reason. He's the most likely to take a chance. Yeah. Let's see that Page of Wands, please. Let's see that Page of Wands. Let's see that Page of Wands. Let's see that Page of Wands, please. The Five of Cups. Okay. The Fool. The Knight of Cups. Okay. Okay. Good on you. That's good on you. It's good on you. You are doing exactly that. You are opening to this in small ways. So you're taking your Fool energy, which is huge, and you're dialing it back by several degrees when you greet this with a hello. However, your emotional sincerity is here with the Knight of Cups. You're expressing yourself to this person. You're also expressing a certain level of disappointment, sadness, and regret. But you are communicating with it. You are showing me vulnerability to even try. And you are telling me it's taking me a certain level of vulnerability and a willingness to be open to try. You carry that Five of Cups with you, so I know you've got some unresolved cups with this person that have spilt over. That's typically cups of the past. So Five of Cups, emotionality of the past, there's the disappointment, most likely shared and experienced between the two of you in some way. But you are saying, okay, I'm not going to be a total fool, right? I'm not going to be, I'm going to dial it back. I'm going to say hello back and, okay, all right, this is interesting. What's going on, right? So at Knight of Cups, you are trying to be gentle in your emotional delivery, sincere, but the takeaway here is that you are trying to be vulnerable to this, okay? That means a willingness to open up. So vulnerability is no easy thing, and that's where a lot of people's defensiveness kicks in. Their pride kicks in. Anything that says anti-vulnerability typically is what people do when it comes to that emotional sincerity. Everybody thinks emotional sincerity is being able to say, oh, I love you, I love you. Where does that come from? Knowing, first and foremost, what your heart feels, acknowledging it, and then second, owning it, and that's vulnerability, and that's where most people fuck up. Excuse my language. I'm past 10 minutes, I'm fine. So it's a YouTube rule, don't worry about it. You know, and that's where most people screw up. I'll say people, I feel this, I feel this, I feel this, but I can't say it. And the more you say you can't say it, the more you're going to believe it. So you are telling me that you're being vulnerable, and however, you're not going overboard. I do see yourself expressing yourself to whatever this is. So you were correct in that respect. I feel like at some point, Christina, communication is going to come through. I'll try to do a time check on that. To me, it happens when it happens, but I see you trying to communicate with it. So let's take a look at this Hierophant figure. Let's see that. Show me that Hierophant, please. Show me the Hierophant. Show me the Hierophant, please. Page of Cups, the Five of Swords, Four of Pentacles, you know. There's some self-sabotage here from this person. In the opposite effect, they self-sabotaged in that they were not capable of opening up, even in the smallest of ways. That I don't have those kind of feelings. There's nothing to be vulnerable about. There's no heart space to express because I'm not invested in that way, right? I know what I'm doing. You know, I'm spiritually connected to my higher self. But I'm not trying to make light of that. This person really did feel, but they told themselves, because again, he's the enforcer, the Hierophant is. So again, what do you do when your higher self is lying to you? When your higher self, which is the Hierophant and the High Priestess, when we're lying to ourselves, you know, we're not actually listening to our higher self, but it comes in that form of the higher self, so we're going to take it as law. So if this person says, I'm not holding on to this and I have no need to open my heart up towards it, hey, you're going to believe it. You know, I can tell that they believed it. They really did. There's no need to open up. There's no need for an apology. There's no need for emotional expression. I don't need to keep my heart open towards this. It doesn't hold anything. It doesn't hold emotional value to me like that. I know myself. I believe that they are someone who knows themselves, generally speaking, but in this respect, in this connection, they lied to themselves. I don't think they're a bad person, but they told themselves whatever they needed to tell themselves in order to justify not expressing their heart. And Four of Pentacles, they didn't let it go either. Why do we Four of Pentacles somebody? We don't want to part ways with it. Why? Because we're that stupid and stubborn? No, it's because it means something to us, but we're just not in a position to understand it, or we won't allow ourselves to understand it. So we hold on to it, we don't let it go, we engage with it, but not necessarily from our most honest, authentic self. And that's why I do believe you exited, or you showed me that you stopped connecting to it. Because whatever it is you felt this was supposed to be from here, in reality it was coming across as this is very underdeveloped and immature, and I don't think either of us really understands why we're connecting to it over and over again. You know, because there was a feeling of relationship in here, but when somebody's like, no, there isn't, not like that. We connect, but it's not like that. What are you gonna do? Yeah, no, I think energetically speaking, you're correct. What was actually happening between you two is a soul bond connection that was trying to express itself via a relationship, and you both felt good about it. And in some way you felt that's how it was supposed to be. But again, there's reality. And if somebody is Five of Swords lying to themselves about how they're actually in it and why they're connecting to it and why they're holding on to it, you know, you can keep telling an apple it's an orange. That doesn't mean it's an orange. But if you want to see an apple like an orange, and you really need to see it that way, you will. You know? Let's see that Three of Swords, please. Let's see that Three of Swords. Let's see that Three of Swords. Let's see that Three of Swords, please. Four of Wands. The Three of Swords twice, the Five of Wands. Yeah, really resisting. I understand what it is. It was really resisting the development of whatever this... I know, you already showed me that. It's kind of like I'm going to call a spade a spade. I don't know what this relationship is. It kind of feels like one, but it's lacking insight about what the heck we're doing. And they had... there's somewhere in this constant rejection that there's a relationship in here that's... It's pain, it's frustration. Five of Wands, Three of Swords twice, Four of Wands. That's a lot of rejection, and at this person's cost. That's a lot of rejection. That's a lot of rejection. A lot of it. It's a lot of rejection. You know, about what this is. And like I said, it was at this person's cost. It cost them more energy to fight the idea that this relationship is constructing than it was to accept it, and not being able to accept it for what it was and what was actually developing, and feelings and all that stuff just caused this person more harm than good. And this is what happens when we reject what we want instead of and we fight it, and then we just fight ourselves, and we're the ones who have to pay the bill at the end of the day, right? Which I say all the time because it's true. I mean, look at all that. That's unnecessarily twisting. That's unnecessary pain. It's unnecessary frustration. It's unnecessary fighting. It's like fighting an invisible enemy. It's like, this is my relationship. No, it's not. You know, this relationship hurt me. No, it didn't, because then I'd have to be in a relationship to be hurt. Therefore, I'm not hurt. So on and so forth. I mean, like I said, all we do is hurt ourselves. The more it's like... Resistance is persistence, and this person had a lot of persistence. So, you know, and that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to be getting on with. Let's see that Chariot. You know? I hate seeing somebody so twisted up like that. I really do, but we do it to ourselves, guys. That's what self-sabotage is. Then we hold on to it, act like none of this is happening, just deepening the issues. Show me that chariot, please. Show me the chariot. Show me the chariot. And they're mad, and they're frustrated, yeah. They're angry. They're mad, frustrated, and angry. And it's like also, you get yourself twisted up like that, you know? Is it a surprise that you stopped connecting with it? Are they surprised? No, they're too busy telling themselves they're not feeling rejected. How people deal with their self-sabotage is how they deal with their self-sabotage. I'm in pain. No, I'm not. I'm holding on to this. No, I'm not. I was hurt by this. No, I wasn't. That means I had to have been in something, right? The Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the Tower. Oh. I see them reflecting on you. There's that Nine of Pentacles. It's kind of like I'm moving forward into unknown states. I would like to approach Sag, but it's scary. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to approach Sag, but it's scary. It's an unknown state to me, and I don't know if that's going to cause some sort of consequences I can't see, and it scares them. It scares them. It scares them. Nevertheless, I do believe that they are trying to maneuver their chariot back towards this in some way. Like I said, I saw communication intuitively. You felt it coming. I see you being open to receive, but it's not like you're bending over backwards either. It's just a willingness to listen and then possibly be vulnerable. But obviously there's still a lot of shared pain between you two. There are some things that they do want to clear up. It might be what you call radical insight. They want the blindness to go away. So they have some things to say, in other words, as well. But I do see them making their way towards you in time. But I think what this person fears the most is the fear of the unknown for trying at all. And what does that even look like? Especially if they weren't really trying to begin with. Yeah, there's going to be a certain fear about actually trying when you hadn't tried before. To really be honest, clear up the confusion, to take the initiative, to go towards this. To do something with it, to do anything, you know. All right, let's see that shared. It's like, do I dare? Two of Wands, some waiting here. Decision making. Some of that Two of Wands, please. Some of that Two of Wands. Some of that Two of Wands. Some of that Two of Wands, please. So here's the thing, guys. If intuitively you can feel the communication, it's a matter of time, and you're not interested, then you already have your answer. You don't need to scream at me, and you don't need to scream at this person. You already know. But if you are open to it in that respect of at least bare minimum clearing up some confusion, okay, and maybe help alleviate some of the pain here that exists on both sides, then by all means. Just so long as there's honesty exchange where there wasn't before. That should help clear a lot of things up. Now, but again, if you're not interested, you're not interested. What is it? I'm not talking about taking me back. I'm not saying that, guys. Not everything has to be a telenovela, that dramatic and operatic. As I'm not talking about taking them back. I'm talking about bare minimum. Possibly getting into a place where we are alleviating some tension and clearing things up just a little bit, if nothing else. Other than that, I can't see anything too solid because, mind you, you both opened up with a sense of we both see a relationship here. But theirs was from the viewpoint of resistance, rejecting it. It's there, but no, it's not. And yours was like, something's here, but I don't know if it's worth keeping. Okay. Yeah, there it is again, you know. And Four of Pentacles with this person, the Eight of Cups. I know they weren't. Time had passed, and it was becoming clear that this person wasn't emotionally available, but they didn't know how to let go because part of them felt very warm in this connection with the sun. I am saying them because I am tying it back to their energy. It was pretty pervasive, and it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, no, they weren't emotionally available. They were never fully there, not in the heart space, but they didn't know how to let it go. Four of Pentacles. Like I said, they have a tendency to hold on because part of them recognizes that this felt good with the Sun. So I don't know how much time went on like this, but it went on like this. Enough to have a pattern here between you two. And it wasn't a healthy pattern. It wasn't a very honest pattern. It wasn't a very forward-thinking or forward-building pattern. It was kind of like, this is where it is, and it's neither one of our best efforts. Until you said, that's not the effort I want. Okay? But yeah, no, it's emotionally unavailable, but didn't let go. The Sun, the happiest card in the deck. You know, being around you felt good. It felt more than good. You know? This does look like one of those they'll have my cake and eat it too type situations. You know, there's a relationship here, but not really. I get some good stuff from it, but I'm not going to put the best of myself or commit to it. You know what I mean? It does feel like that. It's a little too thin for me. It's very thin and very loose. And not enough 3D energy to back up any of the thing I'm seeing here today. I mean, they're showing me way too much conflict about accepting this for what it was. Wanting to taste it but not really partake in it. That would mean acknowledging everything that was happening. It's just too thin and loose for me. And it's looking like it was the same for you as well. A little too thin, a little too loose, you know? All right, let's see that Five of Cups, please. Now that I am attributing to you. Show me that Five of Cups, please. It stands to reason. You were obviously more emotionally engaged in this than they were, so yeah, you're going to show me a lot more upset and disappointment. The Hermit, the Star, the Nine of Wands, you know. Okay, I have to agree with you on this. I really do. If you two connect again, it's in the interest of healing, but nothing more. I have to agree with this. I do. If it means a resolution of one's interest or disinterest, if it means resolving conflict, possibly even get closure, which again, I will always insist until the day I die, closure comes from the self. But if you can connect with somebody in the interest of closure, then I fully encourage it. But I would resist, and it's looking like you are, any idea of anything further. Nine of Wands to the Star. I think there's too much upset. In that respect of, there's too much here. I think there's just too much here to kind of backtrack in order for this connection or this person to be a star in your eyes again. Okay. I see you resisting it being anything further. You already kind of had a feeling where this connection was supposed to go, and it didn't. So you put it under the moon. And that's why I think I see you resisting that idea that this could be something greater, because you already had that feeling once and you put that away. So while it's all well and good to heal the negative feelings, and I'm all for that, if two people can find more peace, like I said, they definitely want to clear up confusion, and I do see them approaching you. And they are fearful of, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I just know that no change plus no change equals no change. So if this person wants to feel better than where they last left it, they have to be willing, to some respect, to explore the unknown, to explore uncomfortable conversations, and to clear the air. And you're saying, I'm open towards it, but not too much. Okay. Enough to maybe feel good about this again, but I'm going to resist getting my hopes up that this could be anything more. Anything more than perhaps healing the bad feeling between us. Let's see that Seven of Wands, please. Boundaries. Show me that Seven of Wands, please. Show me that Seven of Wands. Show me that Seven of Wands. The Five of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Four of Cups. You know, it doesn't make you happy to do this, but You don't want to, but there's something about this that says there's not much point in trying to explore it further. Okay. You understand that it makes them unhappy, and understand that it makes you unhappy. I don't see it going further than possibly maybe understanding each other a little better. That's about it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. That Seven of Wands, I still see you as a singular figure. And while you're listening, you're still defensive, and it's for good reason. I don't think you want to be hurt again, and I don't think you want to have to be in a position where you have to break from this. There's something about it where you know it just won't go further. You just know. You just know it's not going to go further. It's not going to go beyond any sort of communicative repairs. You just seem to know it. You have to part ways with it, and you're not happy, but you're enforcing it with the Seven of Wands. This is how it must be. The break must remain. Because something about this person's energy, situation, or circumstance has not changed. And you see resisting giving this any more hope than you already have. A little bit of talk to clear things up. Okay, cool. But this idea, I can't help but agree with you. I really feel that this was correct. I do. I think you both felt this to some extent. That's why they didn't want to let it go, but they also wouldn't open up towards it fully either. You both had very shaky ideas of what a relationship was between you two. And it could have been triumphant. It may be one day with the moon there, who knows? Not all is yet revealed, possibly. But today is not this day, and it's not tomorrow either. Okay. It's kind of like you're saying what I say all the time. It's going to have to stay as it lays. It's not going to go further, at least not at this time. You know it. Something about this situation or dynamic hasn't changed. And I don't see them, honestly, putting themselves in the position to give you more. I think they just want to clear up any confusion. Maybe make some peace. I just don't expect anything more, and I don't see you doing it. So if you're grossly disappointed, don't be. You don't want to accept anybody into your life that isn't ready to be accepted, because it will always create this kind of conflict where I want it, but I can't, or I won't, or I'm not ready to, or I can't see it, I can't acknowledge it or accept it, and it will always remain fragmented. And this is where we create these long drawn-out relationships that you know it's going to end up one way, but we don't want to deal with it. We're going to give it chance after chance. We're going to keep connecting to it, even if it's at our own cost. And, so the fact that you know this tells me you know a lot more about this person than perhaps you knew or understand. It's kind of like you're saying, I know it's not going to change, or the situation hasn't changed, so there's no point. Or it's going to be the same relationship with this person again and again. It doesn't matter what they try to clear up. It's going to shake out the same way. They're not going to love me anymore. They're not going to be any more available. Or there's just too much damage between us to even bother to try, because I'm sure as hell not getting my hopes up again. It's realistic tarot, guys. Real tarot is real life. If you wanted sunshine and rainbows and here's all the best for you and all the worst is on whoever else, and those folks are a dime a dozen on YouTube. Throw a rock, you can't miss it. Okay? Besides, I'm looking at, you have very strong realistic expectations, or rather lack of expectations for whatever the hell this is. And I think that's wise of you. I don't think you should have any expectations upon this person. They don't look like they can deliver them. I don't think they live up to their expectations despite the desires. At least not in this. Not in this, they don't. And that's unfortunate, because they have some beautiful concepts attached to them, but they cannot. They have such beautiful stuff going on in them, but they don't see it that way. They just see themselves as being conflicting and restricted and flaky, and It's unfortunate. There's some codependency in here. On what? I don't know. I don't know. Codependency on avoidance. Somebody got an avoidance here, and it's a stalemate type thing. Avoidance, avoidance, avoidance. Some people depend upon avoidance in order to do the work for them. If I don't say too much, the other person can fill in the blanks. If I don't do too much, they won't expect anything from me, and they shouldn't. And that's correct. It's still a form of self-sabotage. But let me tell you something. People will tell you who they are. Okay? So they don't see the self-sabotage. They see it as, this is what was correct to me at the time, even though they're doing the exact opposite of everything that is correct for them. They tell themselves it is. And this is where you become dependent on just avoidance as a tactic to not have to make decisions, to not have to get involved, to not really have to meet expectations. And it's like, I feel like this person fears expectations a great deal. Most of all from themselves, which sucks because this person's got the goods to have expectations for themselves met, but it's like, I don't dare. I don't dare. I don't want you or anybody expecting too much from me. I can't even commit to myself. See what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. Yeah. Open up. Yeah, I see that right there. It's on the junction on the timeline. I was about to say we're going to get to that in a second. Yeah, somebody here, and I do believe it's them, is at the crossroads of opening up. So, and even then, I wouldn't put expectation on it. I know you feel it. And bless them if they try. That's why I see you trying back. But again, it's in the interest of clearing things up. Not because you actually believe this is going to go somewhere. Okay. But they're at that crossroads now, I believe. Right here. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and jump on over to that. Honey, I just don't put expectations on this reading, please. Just... they're that person who says, I meant to. And that never feels good, does it? If you've ever been in that dynamic with somebody, well, I meant to. Well, intentions are shit if you don't back them up. So thank you for the thought, but it's just a thought. And it's, there's a lot of mottos in this world, especially in English, that I absolutely despise. One of them being, it's the thought that counts. The thought counts if they actually have something to deliver, like a gift. And in which case, that is the thought that counts. Even if it's not like your size clothing or it's not the perfume you'd wear, it's still literally the thought that counts because at least they're delivering something. But when somebody says, I didn't know what to do, I've been thinking about it, like that's a consolation prize. Oh, good, you've been thinking about it for how many months or years? So no, I wouldn't put what I'm saying here is the energy that you expect and you feel it. But they could change and talk themselves. They're really good at this. They're really good at talking themselves out of it. Not being able to commit to their actions or their thoughts. So while I'm saying propose communication and trying to clear up the confusion, they might change their mind tomorrow. And this person has that vibe, This is what I say today, and this is what I say tomorrow. This is what I say today, and this is what I'm actually going to do tomorrow. And again, somebody who's not in alignment or they're fragmented, they're going to give off that energy and the real world attributes. Okay? All right. Yeah, they were emotionally unavailable to the start, honey, but they held on to it. I get it. They held on to it because it felt good, at least for them. It's a little selfish, but yeah, it felt good. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm not emotionally available, and I damn well know it because I talk myself out of it at every opportunity, but I'm going to hold on to it because it makes me feel good. Again, that's selfish. It gave this parade that you two are in a relationship, and it was exactly that. It was a parade. It was for show. It didn't actually have substance. It was like a parade without substance. See what I'm saying? All right, let's see that communication, please. Divine timing is at play. So yeah, I just, the timing concept is always going to be fluctuating for someone who can't quite make up their mind. You know, I can see the most determined people. They do what they say what they do, and it shows in the cards. And then I can see somebody who is anti-determined. They don't know themselves. They don't know what they want. And it's a flash in the pan moment. I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk today. And then they're like, maybe after the weekend, or maybe after the holiday, or maybe after the next thing. That's this. Divine timing's at play. I know you feel it. You can't define it, but I know you can feel it. Some of you, last summertime was important. For others of you, next summertime. What was I telling you? Because I got news for y'all, summer's over. We're, as of September 22nd or 23rd, depending on where you are in the world, we entered the fall equinox. Distract yourself from the waiting game. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Like I said, you might want to lower those expectations. So if you are not over this person and you are just dying for confirmation, for communication with them, I wouldn't. That's the side jump, just to spare yourself. You have other things you need to do in this life. Your instinct to leave this behind was correct. To stop connecting with it was correct. Okay? It needs to stay that way. You work on yourself and your spiritual aspects, and if you open up towards this in time, that's your decision. Okay? It's just you already seem to understand what to expect from it and to what not to expect from it, and I have to agree. Okay. Yeah, healing. I release you to your highest good. Yep. I think when you let this connection go and you stop connecting with it, you kind of did a little prayer for yourself and said, I have to heal myself and I'm going to release this for the higher good, my highest good. I got to stop connecting with it. Whatever this relationship was and whatever I felt it should be, it was under the moon, or I low-key felt that this is where it was headed. I was wrong. And I'm going to release this for my highest good, if nothing else. I wish the best for you. Good luck to you. That kind of thing. I know it seems kind of cold and straightforward, but the situation perhaps called for that. Yes. Okay. Self-sabotage. And like I said, this is apologetic. I am truly sorry. Again, it's kind of up there. This is what I feel, and expressing it are two different things. So I'm sure that they are sorry, and I don't know if they are aware of their own self-sabotage. And I would like to see an apology for the situation. Yes, perhaps both sides. Sure, it takes two. But yeah, self-sabotage, apology. But whether or not, just because they're feeling it doesn't mean they're going to do it. Again, you have to commit to the self to understand what it is you want to say and do and how you want to best represent yourself. And if someone's not capable of representing themselves to the best of their ability, in other words, they don't know who the hell they are, what they want to do, they're not gonna. Okay, so again, keep those expectations in check when it comes to this person. They don't come across as someone you should expect things from. Okay. But then again, the side I'm looking at says you already kind of know that. Okay. Manifestors in reverse. Yeah, you stop manifesting whatever this is. You stop connecting with it. That means you stopped manifesting it. Ace of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, respectively, and the Ace of Swords also being the divine truth. Okay, for some of you, when the Ace of Swords drops, in my experience, it's typically whatever it is I last said is correct. So when I said you stopped manifesting this the day you left it, or cut yourself off from it, that was the truth. Okay, very good. Anything else here, please? Separation, longing, toxicity, bound. Somebody here is constantly doomed to separate from connections like this because they're they've possibly formed connections out of toxic patterns or habits, and they don't understand what they're doing, which means it just gets reinforced. And somebody here has a pattern of having to separate from people because they get involved with them for the wrong reasons, or they're not being honest with themselves about why they're doing it. Take your pick. That's enough. I've lost interest now in this. It is what it is, guys. I'm a real person, and when I see the consistency over and over again, it's like, yeah, I get accused a lot of beating the dead horse, and it's like, honey, people want me to exhaust it. I do. And that's where I do get to beat that dead horse, because it's the same shit, different day. Or same shit, different reading. Until more people choose to change, I see the same shit. You know? But you did choose to change. Okay. So that says a lot about you. And hopefully I can see other things for you in the future, because you chose to change. Not because you didn't. Okay, we have the medallion of Capricorn, Pisces, goldfish, but it's also in reverse, so just lack of feelings or expression. Yeah, the chakra was in reverse. No shit. The chakra is not in alignment. In other words, who this person is and dedicating themselves to it. And you also, by default, got out of alignment with yourself, too. Because I'm very proud to say you know what to expect from this. And that you're going to continue to separate yourself from it even after a little discussion, if you choose to have it, because you just don't see the hope in it. Exactly. So that's you getting in alignment with you, so very well done. Snowflake, winter, this upcoming winter might be important. Last winter might have been important. Then also, of course, the sign of Scorpio. F, Z, the letter X. No shit, this person's an X. And then the spatula, somebody here likes to cook. That's their hobby, their profession, or perhaps they're cooking right now. And we have the big heart. Yes, I know. You had big feeling for this. I saw it here under the moon. And that's one of the reasons why you put it under the moon. It's because of how much it meant to you and where you had hoped it would head, and it didn't. And you felt it too. It's not like you were wrong. I think your feeling was correct, but it takes two to be on the same page in order to coax what is potentially there. Okay, that's enough. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.